Testing. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Hello everyone, my name's Emilio. Welcome to the channel. Today is just like a quick little video. I'm just talking about movies that have come out this year in 2026, especially the 2020s. For the last like 6 years now, there's been this whole controversy with movie theaters. Are movie theaters dying? Ever since 2020, streaming has literally been taken over. Right, all these studios, went all in on the streaming platforms. Warner Brothers literally dumped a shitload of their mainstream movies like The Matrix and The Suicide Squad on freaking HBO Max. And I even remember in 2021 and 2022, movies would come out in a movie theater, and then like less than a month, they would be on like Hulu and HBO. And even movies like The Batman, to me, one of the best superhero movies, the best superhero movie of the decade. I hope The Batman 2 is just as good. If not, man, it's gonna suck if that movie sucks. But I even remember that movie, less than a month or two, like that movie immediately went straight to streaming. It's like crazy, bro. There are some movies that are pretty successful, but it's like they're just designed to make only a good amount of money in like a few weeks, and if it doesn't do well, it's just dumped on a streaming platform. And earlier this year we had movies like a great movie, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, bombed horribly, was just dumped on streaming. Really great fucking movies. But I just want to talk about, there is a lack of good movies coming out right now. Like right now it's summertime. And I remember like in the 2000s especially, even like in the 2010s, when summertime came around, that was the time to just go to the movies. Every single fucking weekend there would be a movie to go watch. I specifically remember 2008 as like one of the peak years for cinema, especially when it comes to blockbuster cinema. Speed Racer, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, The Dark Knight, Hellboy 2, Wanted, Pineapple Express, Tropic Thunder. What am I missing? I know I'm missing a few others. All right, there's just a lot of movies. I know some of these movies I just mentioned are not really considered great movies, or not considered like huge successes compared to movies like Iron Man or Speed Racer. But you have all these movies that came out: The Chronicles of Narnia, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. All of those movies are movies that, maybe it's because I was a kid at that time, I was 13 when those films came out, those are movies to go to the movie theater to see. Like, you would rush to the movie theater. It seemed like every weekend there was something to go watch. There was a huge variety. Now, it's 2026, and there ain't shit to watch. And there's movies to watch, but I don't want to rush out to go see them. There's only been a handful of movies this year that I've seen. And right now it's the summertime. The only movies that are considered successful are two basically indie movies, indie horror movies, which is obviously Obsessions and The Backrooms. All right, I'm so glad those movies are doing well. Obsession was great. It was a movie that legit actually scared me. The Backrooms, I know a lot of people were disappointed. I actually liked it. It was a fun movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing like the rest of those filmmakers' works. But during summertime, this is the time for like the big epic blockbuster. And we only have 2 movies coming out later on this year during the summertime, which is Spider-Man, whatever the new one's called. You got The Odyssey with Christopher Nolan. That movie's getting a huge amount of backlash right now, even though the film hasn't even came out yet. And later on this year, you got Dune Part 3, which is a movie. Those are like the only 3 movies I'm like legit looking forward to. But it's summertime, and a shitload of films came out that are they just don't look like movies to go watch, because they don't look like movies. They look like streaming movie slop. It was something not made for a movie theater. It was something made for a streaming content service. What movies am I talking about? I'm talking about movies like The Mandalorian and Grogu, a Star Wars movie, completely bombed. The new Supergirl movie, which is the follow-up to James Gunn's Superman. That movie flopped hard. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's as bad as people say it is, but from just judging by the trailers and the previews, the movie doesn't look all that good. Like, it does look like a movie that is all that appealing to me, and that sucks because I am a person who actually likes James Gunn's films. Even though this movie is not directed by James Gunn, it does have a James Gunn-esque style for sure. And I like superhero movies. I love comic book movies. When comic book movies are done right, they are great. Like Iron Man, like The Dark Knight. Supergirl is out, and it bombed horribly. And yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet. I should probably go watch it and judge for myself. Even Masters of the Universe. Like Supergirl just looks like a watered-down version of Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks like a shitty version of Superman. The new Masters of the Universe film, it looks like a watered-down version of like the Thor films, specifically Thor Ragnarok, which is the best one in the Thor franchise. And you got Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Listen, when Mandalorian came out, the first season was great. I also liked the second season. But that third season, that was a huge fall off. that they made a fucking movie, and even then, like, anytime I saw previews for the movie, like, I remember seeing Avatar in the movie theater with my brother, and me and him were just looking at each other like, man, we're not excited. I, I was one of those people who was hyped when Disney announced that they were making more Star Wars films. I remember being so hyped for Star Wars The Force Awakens, even being hyped for Star Wars The Last Jedi, because I thought The Force Awakens was actually good. I still think it's a good movie. But as they kept making another disappointing movie after disappointing movie, as they kept making more Star Wars Disney Plus streaming slop, like the hype for Star Wars has completely died. I'm still a hardcore Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I like watching the old movies directed by George Lucas and the prequels, and I like playing some video games, and I'm even collecting like some Star Wars books. But when it comes to like Star Wars films, I'm not hyped and I'm not looking forward to anything, because anytime they announce a movie, like it's never made. I mean, we got like the Star Wars Starfighter with Ryan Gosling. We'll see how that movie is. I like Ryan Gosling, of course. He's a good actor. But like, what am I getting at? I'm just getting at as in like the movies that I was hyped for like 10 years ago, bro. Being hyped for movies like Star Wars and Star Wars Rogue One. Being hyped for Batman v Superman. Like, there was a time when, like, at least on the internet, a whole collective group of people would be hyped for movies. And right now, maybe it's just due to how the internet is right now, and just due to the type of movies that Hollywood's making, but there's no hype or drive to rush out to the movie theater. And it seems like the only movies that do well are movies that just do well by word of mouth, like, you know, small little indie movies like Obsession or like The Backrooms. I really don't know, but I think Hollywood needs like a new resurgence, or, you know, they need to get fresh storytellers that know how to take risk, and start making original ideas, because Hollywood is just getting lazy right now. They're just making lazy, generic superhero movies, lazy, generic adaptations of characters that no one wants. Like, who the fuck? Listen, He-Man, I'm pretty sure He-Man has a huge following, but who the fuck wants to see a He-Man movie? Like, I did not grow up with He-Man. My cousin, who was a little bit older than me, did not grow up with He-Man, and I don't know anyone who was hyped for a He-Man movie. Like, who is the demographic for that? Not people that are going to the movies right now, okay? Anyways, what I'm getting at is that, I don't know, 2026, it just feels like a shitty year for movies right now. And I really don't know what the next 4 years of the 2020s will be when it comes to films, but hey, I don't know. Hollywood just needs a resurgence, and I just felt like, I was just thinking how, like, I gotta say, I mean, hey, this decade we've had some great movies, all right? Every decade has a great year for movies. Had pumps out some great movies. I mean, I think last year, 2025, was actually a really good year. We had a huge variety of movies that I at least liked. But this year, I don't see the variety so far. I just see a bunch of slop and a few golden nuggets in the middle of that slop. But I just wanted to make a video. I guess it's just a slight rant, because I'm a person who loves movies. I mean, I love collecting movies, obviously, and I love going to the movies on the movie theater, but this year I've rarely gone to the movie theater, and if I go to the movie theater, it's literally to go watch like an older movie that came out like a long time ago. I don't know. That's all I gotta say. And also, the best action movie. One, Hollywood needs to make better action movies. You know, The Furious I saw like a few weeks ago. Great movie, great action scenes. They need to start remembering how to make like good superhero movies again. Superhero movies like, you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Iron Man, The Dark Knight, of course. And yeah, stop being lazy, stop making slop, and also take risks on filmmakers, and, you know, let the screenwriters actually make a really good fucking screenplay. Hire people that actually like the source material and aren't just doing it for like a lazy, you know, check. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. I don't know, I just wanted to rant a little bit about the current state of movies that are at least coming out when it comes to Hollywood. I'm not completely bashing everything Hollywood makes. It's just when it comes to like blockbuster, the summer season, you know, it was something that was always special to me. And personally, this year it's summertime, and there's not really a lot of shit to watch right now. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I gotta say. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, bye.